Hey everyone, so we're back to talk about the 2025 World Juniors. This tournament has always been a breeding ground for future stars, and this year was no different. The energy, the passion, and the sheer talent on display were simply phenomenal. It was Canada versus Czechia in the quarterfinals, and let's just say, things got pretty intense. Both teams had a lot to prove, and the stakes couldn't have been higher. The players were skating with a sense of urgency, knowing that every move could make or break their dreams. Last year the Czechs knocked Canada out in the same round, and you know our guys were ready for payback. The memory of that defeat was still fresh, and the Canadian team was determined to rewrite the script this time around. The locker room was filled with a mix of nerves and steely determination. The arena in Halifax was absolutely buzzing. Fans from all over had gathered to witness this epic showdown. The atmosphere was electric, with every seat filled and the crowd roaring in anticipation. It felt like the entire city had come alive for this moment. Fans were going wild, waving their Canadian flags like crazy. The sea of red and white in the stands was a sight to behold. Chants of "Go Canada Go" echoed throughout the arena, creating a deafening wall of sound that spurred the players on. You could feel the excitement in the air. It was palpable, almost like a living, breathing entity. Every cheer, every gasp, every moment of silence was charged with emotion. The fans were the heartbeat of this event, their energy fueling the players on the ice. Both teams knew what was on the line, a shot at a medal or a ticket home. The pressure was immense, and you could see it in their eyes. Every player was laser-focused, every coach was strategizing, and every fan was holding their breath. As soon as that puck dropped, it was game on. The intensity was off the charts. Every pass, every shot, every save was met with thunderous applause or collective groans. It was a battle of wills, a test of endurance, and a showcase of pure hockey talent. This game was a total nail-biter. From the very first puck drop, you could feel the electricity in the air. Fans were on the edge of their seats, knowing that every play could be the difference between victory and defeat. Czechia scored first, and you could hear a pin drop in the arena. It was a beautifully executed play, catching the Canadian defense off guard. The crowd, which had been roaring just moments before, fell into a stunned silence. But Canada answered back quickly, tying things up before the first period ended. Their response was swift and decisive, showcasing their resilience and determination. The scoreboard reflected the intensity of the match, with both teams refusing to give an inch. The second period was a back-and-forth battle, but neither team could break the tie. Each side had their chances, but the goalies were standing tall, making save after save. The tension in the arena was palpable, as fans from both sides cheered their teams on. The tension was off the charts in the third period. Every shot, every pass, every hit was met with gasps and cheers from the crowd. It was clear that both teams were giving it their all, leaving everything on the ice. Both teams were playing their hearts out. You could see the exhaustion on their faces, but they kept pushing, driven by the desire to win. The physical and mental toll of the game was evident, but neither side was willing to back down. Czechia took the lead again on a power play, and it looked like Canada might be in trouble. The precision and timing of their play were impeccable, leaving the Canadian defense scrambling. The concern on the faces of the Canadian players and fans was unmistakable. But with just 4 minutes left, Bradley Nadeau scored a huge goal to tie it up again. It was a moment of pure brilliance, a testament to his skill and determination. The arena erupted in cheers as hope was reignited for the Canadian side. The crowd went absolutely bonkers. The energy was electric, with fans jumping and screaming in joy. It was a moment that will be remembered for years to come, a highlight in an already unforgettable game. Everyone thought we were headed to overtime, but Czechia had other plans. With just seconds left on the clock, they launched a final desperate attack. The Canadian defense was caught off guard, and in a stunning turn of events, Czechia managed to score the game-winning goal. The arena was in shock as the Czechia team celebrated their hard-fought victory. It was a game for the ages, a true testament to the spirit and unpredictability of hockey. So how did Czechia pull off the win? It wasn't just luck or a fluke, it was a combination of strategy, skill, and sheer determination. From the very first puck drop, Czechia came out with a fire in their eyes and a clear game plan. They knew they had to be aggressive and take control of the game early on. They were all over the ice, playing super aggressive and forcing Canada into making mistakes. Their forechecking was relentless, putting immense pressure on the Canadian defense and causing turnovers that led to scoring opportunities. It was clear that Czechia had studied Canada's play style and knew exactly how to disrupt it. They were a really tight-knit team, always backing each other up. You could see the chemistry and trust among the players, which is crucial in high-stakes games like this. Every time a player was in trouble, there was always a teammate ready to step in and help out. This kind of unity and teamwork is what sets great teams apart from good ones. Their goalie, Michael Hrabal, was a brick wall, making some incredible saves that left our Canadian boys shaking their heads. Hrabal's performance was nothing short of spectacular. He seemed to be in the zone, reading the plays perfectly and positioning himself exactly where he needed to be. His confidence radiated through the team, giving them the assurance that they could take risks, knowing he had their backs. On the other hand, Canada just couldn't seem to find their groove. They struggled to maintain possession and their passes were often intercepted. It was as if they were a step behind Czechia the entire game. The frustration was evident on their faces as they tried to adapt but couldn't quite figure out how to counter Czechia's aggressive play. Their offense, which is usually amazing, just wasn't clicking. The usual fluidity and precision of their attacks were missing. They had a few good chances but couldn't capitalize on them. Whether it was nerves, overthinking, or just an off night, the Canadian forwards couldn't find the back of the net. Czechia's defense was like a fortress and our guys couldn't find a way to break through. They blocked shots, cleared rebounds, and made it nearly impossible for Canada to set up any sustained pressure. Every time Canada tried to mount an attack, they were met with a wall of Czech defenders who were determined to protect their lead. Trey Augustine, Canada's goalie, faced a ton of shots. He was under constant pressure and had to be on his toes the entire game. Despite the barrage, he managed to make some incredible saves that kept Canada in the game for as long as possible. He made some great saves, but it just wasn't his night. The sheer volume of shots and the quality of Czechia's scoring chances eventually wore him down. It was a tough night for Augustine, but he showed a lot of heart and resilience. In the end, it was Czechia's night, and they earned their victory through hard work, strategy, and a bit of magic from their goalie. This 4-3 loss was a tough one for Canada to swallow. It was our second quarterfinal exit in a row at the World Juniors, which has never happened before. We haven't won a medal at this tournament since 2022. This loss was a real shocker for Canadian hockey fans. People were left wondering what went wrong and what it means for the future of our team. It's a wake-up call that Canada isn't automatically the best in the world at junior hockey anymore. To make matters worse, there were some questionable calls by the referees in this game. One call, in particular, had Canadian fans seeing red. It was a disallowed goal for goaltender interference. The replays showed it was a really close call, but the referees stuck with their decision. That call pretty much ended Canada's chances of tying the game. Even though the officiating wasn't the only reason Canada lost, it definitely left a bad taste in everyone's mouth. For Czechia, this win was huge. They proved they're a force to be reckoned with in international hockey. They're a team on a mission, hoping to keep their amazing run going and win their first World Juniors gold since 2001. For Canada, it's back to the drawing board. This loss is a chance to learn and grow. We need to work on our discipline, our special teams, and find a way to score more consistently. Losing to Czechia in the 2025 World Juniors quarterfinals was a tough pill to swallow for Canadian hockey. It showed us that we need to step up our game. We have some work to do, like staying out of the penalty box, playing better on special teams, and finding ways to score more goals. We also need to be mentally tougher and handle the pressure of playing for our country. The road back to the top won't be easy, but Canadian hockey has always found a way to bounce back.